Google Grant eligibility. Are you eligible for the Google Ad Grant? Let's find out. So, to begin, the first question to ask yourself is, are you a nonprofit? And I'm guessing if you're watching this video that you are in fact a nonprofit. In the United States, that would be designated by 501c3 tax exempt status. If you have that status, that is a prerequisite for being eligible for the Google Ad Grant, so you'll want to make sure that you do have that status. We'll talk about some caveats there in terms of organizations that are 501c3, or rather are tax exempt by default, but not 501c3 by default, and sort of how to address that. But that's the first thing to look at is your organization a 501c3? The second question to ask yourself is, are you A, hospital, B, a school or a college, or C, a government agency? If you are one of those three organizations types, unfortunately, you are not eligible for the Google Ad Grant, although if you're a college or a school, you are eligible for a different program called Google for Nonprofits, which doesn't have the Google Ad Grant benefits, but it does have some other features that you can take advantage of. So sorry about that. If you are a college or school, that said, you may have a 501c3 foundation, which is eligible, and it can promote its work, not, for example, your classes if you're a school, but it can promote the work of the foundation, fundraising for the school, and so forth. Or if you are a research lab that's a separate entity associated with a college, then you are eligible and you can promote your research and fundraising for your research, but you can't promote the college itself or the university itself. Those are the main requirements. Google also asks that you, of course, agree to stand by their terms of use and follow their terms of use, and that you don't discriminate in the provision of your services. But typically it's those three areas where people end up being disqualified. These are specifically the rules for the United States. The Google Ad Grant is available in dozens of countries, and the requirements for those countries are listed on the website at google.com/grants, which is just a great resource to check out and see your country if it's listed and what the requirements are. In the United States and in many of the other countries, your nonprofit status is verified by an organization called TechSoup. So before you, or actually while you apply for the Google Ad Grant, one of the first steps that you'll have to take is create or log into your TechSoup account and get a token which verifies your nonprofit status, which is how Google determines whether or not you might be eligible for the program. So that's a really important thing to keep in mind. One of the areas, sort of the caveats that I mentioned, is that if you're a church or a religious institution, churches are tax exempt by default under American law, but they're not 501c3s by default. They essentially have 501c3 status without having to apply for it. So if you are a church, you are eligible for the Google Ad Grant. You'll just want to make sure that you have applied for and received 501c3 status from the IRS. And your accountant or your lawyer can talk to you about that. Many churches have done that just as a matter of course, and so you will be totally fine to use the program. I hope this has been helpful. I hope this has been encouraging. If you are in one of the vast majority of cases, your nonprofit most likely is eligible, which is really exciting. We're very thankful that Google has made this program available to so many nonprofits and so many diverse causes in terms of the areas that they help. So you most likely are eligible. If you're not eligible and you're one of the organizations that is in the three excluded categories, you can still benefit from Google advertising through a paid ads account, which has different costs and benefits, of course. The cons being that you have to actually pay, but there are some benefits of having a paid ads account in terms of the other ways that you can advertise. So that is definitely still worth looking into. If there are lots of people who are searching for what you provide online, and you would have a lot to gain, or they would have a lot to gain from learning about your work. So thank you so much. I hope this has been helpful. If you do run into questions or you are unsure about your eligibility, or you're applying for the Google Ad Grant and you're running into issues, please feel free to let us know either in the comments down below or through our website. It's just nonprofitmegaphone.com. We'd be happy to sort of help you think through that and make sure that if you are eligible for the Google Ad Grant, that you're able to benefit from it. Thanks so much.